Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Shataria here at Chicago Branch Great Millstone, prophesizing the return of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. You all ignorantly call him Jesus, but his true and Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai. Coming at you with another lesson, but before we get started, we're going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekah Kadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders here at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Honors to the hopeful elect. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. Salutation to all the Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity, the speckled bird, and all those whose lineage goes back to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, healthy Barakatha, and to the Akwab, and those of you out there listening and learning, Shalom and Barakatha to you also. The title of this lesson is The Beast is Starting to Hate the Whore, Part 2. Quick recap from the intro, or Part 1, where I gave you that Jeremiah 50 and 41, showing you how, Babylon, a.k.a. America, is not just messing with NATO, but they're messing with all the nations, okay? Not just the beast, okay, which is NATO. And today, Israel, for those of you listening and learning, okay, we're going to close with that Revelation 17th chapter. And that's going into the beast, but that's talking about the EEC, European Economic Committee, okay, all right? And it's okay because 23 or 25 nations that make up the EU, European Union, that's what it's called today, also make up NATO as well, okay? So, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, okay? But like I said in part 1, they're basically giving their allies, okay, are giving these other nations. They're just doing everything that diabolical and wicked that can be done, okay? They blew up the Nord Stream pipeline is what we went into in part 1. Both pipelines got blown up, destroyed. There's no proof of who did it, but if I had to guess, Esau, Babylon, aka America, their fingerprints is all over it. They both Esau, okay, but that's Sirach 14, 4 and 5. He who is not good to himself, to whom will he be good, all right? So, Babylon, aka America, like I said, they blew up that pipeline, and it's costing Germany, all right, and a couple of other countries over there in Europe who are allies to America, double the money, okay, to get their oil now, to heat their homes, drive their cars, etc., all right? And that was oil being flown through, the pipeline from Russia to Europe. And that's what they did. They also hijacked a couple of oil tankers, Russian oil tankers, all right, Mead oil tankers, okay, a couple of Moab oil tankers, okay, China and Russia. China is Moab, Russia, those are the Medes, all right, ancient, okay, modern day China, modern day Russia, okay, and they hijacked those tankers, okay, all right, and these other nations, okay, are pretty upset. Now, this is NATO. He just put heavy tariffs on his allies, okay? And they're at odds over that, okay? At odds over everything. And he did that because they went against him about what he's trying to do over there in Greenland. They have committed troops to Greenland, all these other countries, which make up NATO, France, Germany, UK, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, all NATO, okay? And that's why, I gave you that Psalms 41 and 9. Those who were allies, those who were acquaintances, those who were friends with Babylon, aka America, are now questioning them, at odds with them. Okay, and let's grab that Obadiah real quick. Okay, Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Okay, we have heard a rumor, we have heard a report from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. An angel has been sent among the heathen and says, arise ye and let us raise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Okay, and that's what he's done. He's made Babylon, aka America, small among the heathen and greatly despised. Okay, all these other nations, and including their allies, NATO, okay, the beast is starting to hate the whore. Let's drop down and go to 6. It says, how are Obadiah 1 and 6? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And that's through the spirit of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, resting it on his prophets, okay, to take the veil off of these Edomites, okay, to take the veil off of Babylon, aka America. Show you who they are for what they are. Show you what they do. And that's how his hidden things are sought up, through Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, putting his spirit on his prophets, all right, okay? All the men of thy confederacy, Obadiah 1 and 7, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. So I dropped down from Obadiah 2 to 6 and 7. All right, and that's where we're at. You okay? That's what we're witnessing. That's what we're seeing firsthand, real time, okay? These nations who have been friends, who have been acquaintances, who have been allied with Babylon, aka America, all right, are starting to despise and hate the whore, okay? All right? And, Babylon, this is a wicked place, okay? Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, has given them a spirit of separation. And that's why the beast is starting to hate the whore, okay? NATO, Trump, Nero Trump, he was talking about taking over his allies' country. Let's play this video where you can get a better drawing of what I'm talking about. We're going to jump into the precepts real quick and close the lesson out. Before we do anything, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, okay? So, again, like I said, NATO in Revelation 17 chapter, that is going into the EEC, European Economic Committee, okay? But it's okay because 23 out of 25 countries that make up the European Union, which is what it's called today, make up NATO, all right. Make up NATO also, all right? So, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, okay? Let's let the video play and get right into the lesson.
We're concerned about this escalation.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, one of the latest world leaders to comment on escalating talks by the U.S. in their effort to acquire Greenland.
We always will support sovereignty and territorial integrity of countries wherever their geographic location is.
8 European countries, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and Britain, have been targeted by U.S. President Donald Trump for a 10% tariff for opposing America's desire to take over Greenland. The nations putting out a joint statement saying that they stand in full solidarity with the Kingdom of Denmark, and tariff threats undermine transatlantic relations and risk a dangerous downward spiral.
Il faut y aller tout de même avec.
In any case, we need to approach this with a certain degree of force. It's clear that with Donald Trump, it's no longer about the law, it's about force.
Now, you hear what this prime minister just said? This ally, she says, it's clear with Nero Trump, it's no longer about diplomacy, okay? It's about force, okay? The only thing he understands is force, all right? But let the video finish playing.
The additional 10% levies would be imposed on the 8 countries from February 1st and could rise to 25% on June 1st if no deal is reached. EU ambassadors held an emergency meeting in Brussels on Sunday to discuss Trump's latest tariff threats. Earlier on Sunday, while meeting with his Norwegian counterpart in Oslo, the Danish foreign minister said Denmark will continue to engage diplomatically with America.
We have been asking since the very beginning of this to have a constructive dialogue with our American ally and friends, free from social media and headlines and strong words. And we opened that dialogue last week. We will not give up on that.
One political analyst says Trump's threat to hit European allies with new tariffs has intensified the dispute over Greenland, which is a semi-autonomous territory of NATO ally Denmark.
This has really become high-level politics. This is not longer just a matter between Denmark, Greenland, and the United States. This has become a matter between Europe and the United States.
Republican lawmakers, though, believe Trump's renewed push for Greenland is justified.
But Greenland has strategic importance to us because of its geography, its placement, but not just to the U.S., but to all freedom-loving people everywhere.
I have concerns about using what I think is a questionable constitutional authority, imposing unilateral tariffs on NATO allies. But the what here, I think, is absolutely in the interest of the United States of America.
Several protests taking place over the weekend in Greenland, with citizens not taking Trump's pursuit lightly, condemning the U.S. president's plans.
It's a bit like a spoiled child turned old. And you think he can, and you think he can scare people. He can't scare Greenlanders.
I hope that the American people as well get their eyes opened to see this is not a good way to treat anybody.
Amid this dispute, several European countries have sent troops to Greenland in recent days, but they have said they are there for Arctic security training. Afia Ba, City News.
Well, there you have it, Israel. They've sent troops over to Iceland, over to Greenland, okay? They have sent troops over to Greenland, and they're not taking Nero Trump lightly. All right? Okay? Trump will meet with world leaders in Davos, where his Greenland threat tops the agenda. U.S. President Donald Trump is in Davos, Switzerland, where he will address the World Economic Forum and meet with world leaders. Greenland showdown. European officials are planning to use the platform to stage a diplomatic intervention to cool tensions over Greenland that have put, the continent on edge. Many believe now it threatens the very existence and survival of NATO, okay? So like I told you early in the lesson, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai is causing separation. He's stirring up division among the nations, okay, among NATO. The beast is starting to hate the whore, along with a lot of other nations also, I might add, all right? Let's go here. Let's grab Mark, and let's get Mark 3:20, start somewhere up in there. We'll start at 23. Here we go. The water, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're witnessing real time. The downfall of Babylon, aka America, and we're seeing the beast starting to hate the whore. The breakdown of NATO, okay? All right. So that's where we're at, all right? Then you also have this president of Turkey. Is that Tayyip or Dogan? All right. He has frequently criticized U.S. tactics, often, okay, citing, Washington's support and how the Syrian Kurdish groups are, listed as a terrorist threat, are called terrorist threats. He opposes U.S. foreign policy in Western Asia. They falsely and fraudulently call it the Middle East, okay? And is now questioning the reliability as, the U.S. as an ally. That's what he's doing. He's now questioning the U.S. reliability as an ally. President Trudeau, the Canadian president, says Canada is not for sale. All right. And is a strong critic of President Trump's actions. Canadians are wearing red hats that say "Make America Go Away." Let me read that to you one more time, Israel. Canadians are wearing red hats that say "Make America Go Away." Let's grab a couple of precepts and get ready to close out the lesson, all right? Where do we want to go? Let's get Jeremiah. All right, let's get Jeremiah. Let's grab Jeremiah. Let's grab Jeremiah 49, all right? We're going to go to 49 and 15. Jeremiah 49 and 15. And it says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." Didn't we just read that in Obadiah 2? Okay, Obadiah 1 and 2. Jeremiah 49 and 15, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And Babylon, aka America, is greatly despised right about now throughout the whole earth, throughout the whole world. It says, "Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, okay, thy treachery, thy wickedness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart," the Hebrew word for heart is lab, that means your mind, okay? "O thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock," and they're cave dwellers, all right? They come down out the mountains. And that word pride, Proverbs 16 and 18, "Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall," okay? "Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, that holdeth the high of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord," okay? They make their nest among the eagles, see? So this place was really founded on separation. Let's see, that's in Obadiah 2, I do believe. Let's stay in Obadiah and drop down to 3. It says Obadiah 1 and 3, line backing off this Jeremiah 49th chapter. "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart," again, the Hebrew word for heart is lab, that means your mind, "Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." So if you look at the everything this place does, it emulates the dragon, which is the old Roman Empire, okay? If you want to be a pharmacist, if you want to be a pilot, you have to read Latin, okay? All right. the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Ancient Rome, you had the patricians and the Flavians. Today, in Rome 2.0, which is Babylon, aka America, you have the Democrats and the Republicans. Democrats making up the left wing and Republicans making up the right wing. The two wings on their eagle, on their emblem, which is the eagle, that diabolical bird that is talking about, okay? And though they set their nests amongst the stars, now who has space stations in space? Who has a space force? They now have a space force, okay? As if they're going to do battle with Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to close with that Revelation 17th chapter also, okay? And who has not only space stations, they have their satellites out there. That's building your nest amongst the stars, okay? And Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai say, though they do it, all right, he's still going to bring them down, okay? All right. So the beast is starting to hate the whore. All these nations, all right, he's going to use them to bring this place down. All right. Let's get ready to close the lesson, Israel. Let's go here to Revelation. Let's get Revelation 17. All right. Let's get Revelation 17. And we're going to get ready to close this lesson. Where we going to start at? We're going to start about 12 for time's sake. But this is going into the end. Okay, this whole chapter, beautiful chapter, Revelation 17 and 12. The 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom. Okay, they have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as the king 1 hour with the beast. Okay, so that Revelation 17 and 12, the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. 10 empires that were going to be ruled by these 10 kings. They're going to raise up. Now, these 10 kings, they have no leaders of their. They have no lead. They are leaders of their country, okay. But all these different countries have someone over them, okay. 1 hour with the beast, okay. And again, the beast in this case is the EEC, the European Economic Committee. That's what he's talking about in this one here. Okay, this Revelation 17 and 12, okay? All right, that's what he's talking about, the EEOC. And again, it's okay because 23 or 25 of the countries that make up the European Union are also made up of NATO, okay? All right. Yeah, so in 1957, that 1 hour with the beast, okay, that's when the EEC was formed, 1958-1, I'm not sure. I believe that's what the elder Apostle Ramla said in that breakdown, 1957 to 1958. And that 1 hour with Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, is about 42 years, give or take. So these devils, they on borrowed time right now, okay? That's why the beast is starting to hate the whore, okay? And you can go into that Daniel 7th chapter, the whole chapter, but you want to get straight to the point around Daniel 7 and 17 and read down, get straight to the point, okay? All right, the line back off this Revelation 17 and 12. Let's keep reading, okay? It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as the king 1 hour with the beast. These have one man, okay? These have one man and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And what that Revelation 17 and 13, they are all in league, okay, with this new world order. They're all in alliance with this one world order. And they also have one thing in common, okay? They have a common denominator, and they're all in compliance with that, and that's Babylon, aka America, okay? All right? It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And this is Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, his host, okay? The angels, the elect who are going to be turned, okay? Again, it says, and these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Give me Revelation 16. Revelation, we're going to bag that one up, line back off that. Revelation 16 and 14, okay, Israel? Revelation 16 and 14, it says, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. Now they call that WW3. That's what the heathen call it. Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai calls it the war Armageddon, the last war of good and evil before he comes and destroys this place, all right? Let's go back in Revelation 17 and keep reading. Where are we at? Revelation 17. And 15, and it says, and he saith unto them, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitude and nations and tongues, okay? Revelation 17 and 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are the peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, okay? So Revelation 17 and 15, okay? Then Nahum 3 and 1, all right? But it shows that the waters, it shows you what the water symbolizes, okay? Because America, you know, it has been a big influence on the whole world. And that water, okay, it symbolizes the world, nations and kingdoms. All the nations have been taken in by Babylon, aka America. It's been alluring and appealing to all the world. The whole world has drunken, okay, this Babylon juice. They've drunken the wine of this place, okay, taking on their customs, traditions, trends, fads. All right, Revelation 18 and 17, Revelation 11, Jeremiah 51. All right, all this linebackers off of that Revelation 17 and 15. And we'll close right here, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, okay? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And they say you burn a witch. Babylon, aka America, the mistress of witchcraft, mother of harlots that rideth upon the beast, okay? All right, and in this breakdown here, this beast is going into the EEC, the European Economic Committee, okay? All right, and it's okay because they are twofold, and these 23, 25 nations, they also make up NATO as well, okay? That's pretty much all I have right now. Lord will, through the Spirit, this lesson was edifying. In closing, I'd like to say, Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah, rise Israel, rise in a Bob of Bow.